Isolation Nation, how are you? Welcome to the first episode of The Tweekly Show. It's Wednesday. I'm very excited to be here. We've got two great co-hosts, one of which is Queen Rachel. Queen, how are you? Are you excited for today?
I'm excited, but it's weird that we don't have Dad or our weird, funny uncle on this show. But we do have the hot stepmom who we met in real life last night, Jody Sweeten.
Hey! Is this the stepmom now? I don't know. She's an actual mom. Sweet. That's okay. It's okay. I've always thought about being a step parent would be cool. I don't know if I'd be a regular parent, but being a step... I'd rather be grandparents, if I'm being honest. That's the one I'd pick, where you just have to show up when they're having a good time to give them presents, you know?
But I think, unfortunately, you have to have the parent part first in order.
That's really the only reason I would be a parent is to become a grandparent. That's
well, what if you just had a kid, like, left their life for whatever, come back at, like, you know, in their late 20s, make some amends, figure it out, get it right, and then just enjoy their kids?
Yes.
Is that the way
I'm
to do
totally
it?
in it. If someone showed up at my doorstep and said, "I'm your son, you had me 25 years ago and you didn't know about me," I'd be like, "Sweet, let's party." That'd be a fun way to do it. Because I didn't actively leave anybody, then I'm not a dick. It's like, if they didn't tell me, it's not my fault. That's why I've always wondered why people fight so hard to get sole custody when they get divorced. I'm like, just be a grandparent now. You just every other weekend you see them, that would be great. You only go to soccer games? I don't know, man. I think that'd be good. So
how do we support the show?
You doing?
So, topic one. No.
No, so, sorry, Chrissy grabbed my phone, has all my notes on it. She needed something. Anyway, we've got a great show coming up. Let's do the games real quick, and then we'll explain all the new stuff.
Well, first, how you can support the show is in the corners, there's Venmo, and all of the corners. We changed it up.
Yep.
Did we? We didn't. Okay.
No.
You can Venmo the show. You can also PayPal at sdscshow.com. You can't super chat yet. Possibly. At some point, we're figuring that out.
On super chats, but the Venmos and the PayPals do come through instantly, so it's just the same. Yes. When you use your comments, and so we're explaining how that works. We do have two fun games, an overnight game and a Night King game. So the overnight game was, what is the worst song to hear at a wedding? What is the worst song to play at a wedding? And I went to the Facebook group, actually, because there was a bunch of them. There's only one Twitter, so I went to the Facebook, and there's a ton of them. I'm going to start checking that every day, too. But Mike Cunniff had Thong Song. That's a pretty terrible song at a wedding, I think. Michelle Phelps had My Best Friend's Girl. That also a terrible song at a wedding. Hayden had I liked Hayden's I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. You shouldn't make that your first dance. That would be a very bad first dance. Also bad first dance would be Lisa Olgard had Kanye West Gold Digger. That would also be a bad first song. Dash had She Fucking Hates Me. That wouldn't be good.
These are great.
Kate Louise, Easy Lover. Bad. But my favorite would be the one for my third wedding, which would be Oops, I Did It Again from Stacy Grover. First time game winner, overnight game winner. But nice work, Stacy, for Oops, I Did It Again. I thought it was very funny. Do we have a Night King, Rich?
Yeah, the Night King game was Florida, a movie, and I really liked Rebecca Fisher's Robbing in the Hood, Florida Man in Tights.
Yes.
Very funny. Close.
Yeah.
But Anna Hood, congratulations, Bad DeSantis.
Yes.
Starring one of our favorite comics, Jenny Z was in Bad DeSantis.
Exactly. Well, two.
She was in Bad DeSantis too. Yes. With So hopefully there's not a Bad DeSantis 2 in Florida, but there probably will be. I mean, he's running for governor again. Hopefully, he's the governor of Florida. That's the joke. Okay, cool. We're gonna explain some new changes now, guys. Here's how this is gonna work. We've got some new ideas, some new things. We're gonna rebrand
for Wednesdays.
For Wednesdays. It's just because of Wednesdays for me, Rachel, and Jody being on the show. And the way it's going to work is we are going to do a thing we call 3 topics. So we're going to have our comics here in just a second. But then after the comics, we're going to have 3 things we talk about. But we won't know what those things are going to be. You guys are going to give us those topics. So for a $5 Venmo or PayPal, send in what you want our topic to be. And then we will each pick one. So each one of the comics, me, Jody, and Rachel will each pick one of our favorite topics. Then we're going to throw those 5 topics up in a poll. And the top 3 we're going to talk about. The number 1 topic of that poll is going to be one of our winners today. Okay? Then while we're doing the 3 topics, anytime you want to throw in a comment about what we're talking about, again, $5 Venmo or PayPal, throw it in a comment. Rachel will also be looking for the unpaid stuff, but if there's any, but if you want to guarantee your comment gets read, throw it in the comment section, and it'll be read, and then we're also going to vote on our favorite comic. comments. So each one of us will pick our favorite comment at the end of the 3 topics, and we'll vote on that. So that's the second winner of the day. Also, this is a comedy show. We don't want to talk about abortion. That's not what our topics are, okay? So
unless
make them
you
fun.
can make it funny. Unless
well,
you can make it funny.
If you can make it funny, yes. Come on, Jody.
Make
yes.
just about anything funny. But
well, we can make just about anything funny, but this is not a political debate show.
We proved that in the sound check.
We did. We had a hell of
Crayon
a riff on
abortion.
crayons. Well,
Maybe we'll release that as a clip.
We did do a crayon abortion joke. Wow.
We
anyway. Let's Myq Kaplan did technically, but that's neither here nor there. Let's I don't want to steal his credit, but so we will pick our favorite comment through the 3 topics, and then after that we're going to do the contest. Today is going to be shitty doodles. So you can shitty doodle, but not just the front row. If you're in the world, our lurker world and the other YouTube world, you can send us shitty doodles too. We're going to put in the chat where to send those emails to, and then while we're doing the VFR shitty doodles, you'll get 2 of those in the front row for free, like always, front row people. But while we're going through the front row shitty doodles, then Taylor will be collating the shitty doodles coming from the YouTube world, and then we'll show the shitty doodles, and then we'll all vote on that, and we'll have a shitty doodle winner. And here's the fun part. Our 3 winners from today, the topic winner, the comment winner, and the shitty doodle winner, will all get to choose topics for next Wednesday. So you'll get to throw them right into the poll. You get to pick a topic. You can pick one ahead of time. You can do one as the show goes on, but and we'll talk to you a little bit after the VFR next week and kind of give you a little bit of FaceTime, a little bit of showtime to talk about your topic, and then you'll be able to throw a topic in to the 3 topics next week. So that's how that's going to work. Does that all make sense? I don't know if it does, but we're going to give it a shot.
Nice job, Bowers.
I don't know if it makes sense. And we went to lunch and talked about it, and I had a conversation with Bowers this morning, and I just heard it explained again, and I still may not be clear. So if anyone in the audience is a little confused, it's okay.
It's a little complicated, but I think if we get it figured out,
It
will work well. It will work well. It'll be fun. So you've got 3 opportunities to win today, guys. You can pick us a topic. You can be the funniest comment, or you can be the shittiest doodle, or the funniest shittiest doodle. It won't be the worst doodle, but the best of the doodles. And those are our 3 winners for the day. We'll announce those. We'll say goodbye to you at the end. And then tomorrow, and the next Wednesday, you'll be able to help us choose topics. There we go.
And I just want to say also, so for the shitty doodles, so if you are not in the VFR, all you have to do is email us at sdscshow@gmail.com. That's it. Send us your shitty doodle. Send in a Venmo or a PayPal if you want it definitely shown on screen. Otherwise, yeah, I'm so excited that the YouTube people and Facebook people can get to show their shitty doodles. While we're on air.
And we'll still do all the pun stuff on Fucking Fan Fridays. We just thought, maybe there's people in our world that aren't good at puns, but are good at drawing or comments or picking topics. So we wanted to give a couple opportunities for other people to win some stuff. So that being said, are you guys ready to get this show rolling and get our comics? So did I forget anything other than the comics? I think we got 2 great comics, both returning champions. I wanted to be people I loved and trusted. Myq Kaplan's back. Myq, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I want to find out, is it okay if people's doodles are good, or is that not allowed?
No, that'd be good. It's a good doodle would also be good. So, but we are judging them on funniness, not artistic ability. I will say that. So if one's funnier but shittier, and one's better but not as funny, we're going to go with the funny, shitty one as opposed to the good, well-drawn one, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Also, I want to let everyone know my mom is watching. She used the link. She got on, and she already sent in a topic that we don't have to choose, but I think it's based on a 20-something-year-old callback that one time when I was in high school, I was performing music at the time. I played guitar, I was singing songs I'd written, and I asked the crowd at my high school, my mom was watching, like, do you guys have any topics you want a song about? I think somebody called out meatloaf, and I said something like the food or the guy, and then probably sang a song about eating the guy. I wasn't vegan yet. And so my mom texted me right when you said we're going to be looking for topics, meatloaf. So I hope that I've done enough for that now. But also...
Let me say, Myq, I will do anything for this show, but I won't do that. That's what I will say.
Yep.
We also have Jen Murphy's here.
Jen Murphy's here with us. Jen Murphy, how are you?
Woo! Am I supposed to take off my own video? Oh,
there you go. There you go. How you doing, Jen? How you doing?
I'm a mess as usual. I'm in the dark as usual also. They know me by now.
Hey, look, man, we love you as who you are, man. I don't need you to be better. I want you to be the best Jen Murphy you can be, and I love you. So how's life going, Jen? You doing all right?
My life's going okay.
Has your mom sent you any topics we should talk about, or is she not watching the show?
My mom is not watching the show, and I am very jealous.
Yeah, I think my mom watches sometimes. My
mom
might be watching.
Interest in my career after 2 years.
My mom didn't have interest in my career till last year, so I don't know what that means, but I'm kidding. She loved my
I
career.
haven't told my mom about this show because I don't have the mental wherewithal to try to explain to her how to access it. So I just decided that
Fair.
I don't even mention it.
Yeah. Well, there's a moment where you just realize everything's on your phone. Because everything didn't used to be on your phone. So if you're a certain age, you still like when I owned the comic club, people would call me and ask for directions. I'm like, okay, take out your phone, click on the map, type in my name. What the fuck are you doing? I'm not going to tell you what road to turn on. It's fucking 2008. What do we, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's people that still don't know everything. Like my dad's like, I don't know how you find a podcast. There's literally a button on your phone that says podcast. Just click on that purple button and then type in what the name of the podcast is and it'll be there. No idea. I get it. So, all right, we're going to start right now with a set. We're going to start with a set.
VFR. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's the thing I forget.
We don't have our funny uncle here.
We fucked up the
video
comic
front
strip.
row.
He doesn't remember either.
No,
Yeah,
we get to
I
video
got it
front row
written
gets to
down.
be on.
Bowers is so excited today, you guys. He's so excited.
No,
for
here's what
the-
happens. Can I tell you what actually happens?
Camera's on.
Yes.
I'm afraid what I'm going to say is boring. So I go through it very quickly, but then when I do that, I forget stuff because I get nervous that it's going to be boring. So I try to get through it fast, and then
You're
I
not
forget
boring.
stuff. I know. I have to.
I know.
I know I'm not boring. I used to be boring, and I'm not anymore. Anyway, the point is, I forgot the VFR. I should have announced the comics yet, so forget we did that part. VFR's here. Turn your cameras, guys. Here we go. We're going to introduce the video front row. For tomorrow, next time, we will introduce the comics after the video front row. But Shannon Burke is here in a meadow. Is that Tennessee with the fog behind you? I like that. I saw forensic files where that fog killed a bunch of people in the 70s. But anyway, front row, Stephen Valor here, a new dawn with STSC. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. I love the hat. Nice work. Nice seeing you guys. Okay. So now what are we going to do here? I haven't decided what we're going to do.
I can do it. Yeah, one of the topics.
Who's this? Because Ben always messed it up, so I don't know what her actual name is. So
It's Cass Civils, everybody. On Wednesdays, she's Cass Civils. On Fridays. Fridays, maybe she might be a bit different.
She's Wednesday Cass. I was Wednesday Steve. She's Wednesday Cass.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Wednesday Cass. Wednesday Cass. There you go.
It's finally good to have you on the show, Cass.
First time ever. This is great. Good to see you, Cass.
The irony would be if Cass never comes back. She's like, it's just lost its identity.
Yeah, without Ben fucking up her name, the show has no meaning.
Anybody saying my name terribly, it's just not fun.
Exactly. We'll see. We'll fuck your name up on Friday. James Nielsen's here. James, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. I love that background, consistent, 175 days in a row with the same background. That's impressive.
Is he
It's a
wearing
nice
the
early-
robe from Big Lebowski? James, you look very dude-like right now. Just gonna
Yeah,
say.
he is kind of the dude. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. James has always kind of been he's got the ponytail.
I'm telling you.
Fucking- Can you bowl? I bet you're a hell of a
That
bowler.
room really
James.
ties that rug really ties the room together, James.
Did we just walk, James?
No, I think he's going to fight. Oh, he's got his.
There
Yeah, he's
we
even
go.
more. He's even more the dude.
Yeah.
See?
That's
I love
I need
it.
a
I love it.
cocktail, you know. There you
Nice.
go. The beverage. Need a beverage.
Need a beverage. Yes, go get yourself a white Russian or a glass of milk. Either works. Coitus Mason is here. How you doing, Curtis? Good to see you. Fresh from his Hands Up comedy, where we learned he's a redhead, even though I've never seen him without a hat. He had a 7-minute set about how terrible it is to be a redhead while wearing a hat. It was hilarious. Brad Clark's here. Brad, how you doing, Brad? Good to see you. Mr. Giggly. He's my favorite laugh of all time other than mine. I have a great laugh, but not as good as Brad Clark's giggle laugh. It's the fucking best.
Happy early birthday, Brad.
Ooh, happy early birthday. Cool. Is that what kind of space is that today, Brad? What kind of space is that?
It's the Horsehead and the Fire Nebulous.
Oh, I was thinking that was the Horsehead and the Fire Nebulous. That's what I was thought. I just wanted you to say it out loud so I didn't sound dumb. Abby Wright's here. Abby, how you doing? Look at that fire rolling back. Oh, wow. You drinking some brandy, sniffing by the fire as a doctor, like old school, like old boys club doctor, what you're doing? Is that what you're doing?
Brandy. I'm working in 2 hours.
Oh.
It's very hygge or whatever that weird Norwegian word is for comfy looking stuff.
Oh. I think it's called IKEA. Is what the word you're looking for is IKEA.
But sorry, I pronounced it wrong. IKEA. Yeah, that's
It's not that comfy. All right, Rebecca Fisher's here. Rebecca, how you doing? Good to see you.
Hi.
Good to see you. You've got a weird angle at this point. You're just fully reclined. I like that. Anna D's here with her kid stuffed animal behind her, so just hanging out, chilling. I don't know if he just lost him and you don't want to tell him where it is, but that's fun, you know.
If I
Just
move
the
him,
head.
she'll be mad.
Yeah, well, good. I like him being there. It helps. Megan Luce is here. Megan, how you doing? Good to see you. with your closet door and your wall intersecting. Looking cool. I like that. Frankie Berman covering up the angle just for me. I appreciate that. Yeah, fuck Ben. I like that. Good job. Nice work. Steph Andrews is here. There's a lot of pineapple hate on the internet yesterday, Steph. There's a lot of pineapple memes I saw yesterday. It was extra Steffi Andrews Day on the internet yesterday. I don't know how you're doing on that.
Yeah,
Are you wearing a
fuck
shirt?
you
Looks like
all.
you're not. Looks like you're not wearing a shirt. It looks like you're from.
I'm
Blue
wearing
Lagoon.
a shirt because
Oh,
it's
okay.
weird.
I thought-
Doesn't mean
all right.
that I'm not wearing a shirt.
My bad. My bad. Your hair was over your sleeves or your straps or whatever it's called. Oh God, Wendy's driving again. Wendy, how you doing? Don't crash into anything. Good to see you. No, don't look at the phone. Don't look at the phone. We're not doing anything. All right. Good to see you. Good to see you. I think your whole town doesn't have internet. I don't think this is your house. I think wherever you live, the whole fucking town doesn't have internet. Joe Safa's here.
She's
Joe,
driving to another town to get it right now.
Right, that's what she's doing. She's on her way to internet. She has to drive to internet. Those Tesla plugins also have an Ethernet cable. That'd be nice. Good to see you, JoJo. Sarah Green's here. Sarah, good to see. Oh, look at all those guitars in the back. That's cool. Look at that. You in a green room or in a rock band? What are you doing over there, Sarah? I like it. You just collect guitars? Are those all rock band guitars? That's cool.
No, they're real guitars. It's just
right,
been
well,
a
good
while
job.
and I'm brushing up.
Oh shit! Sleepy Bear's driving. JP's driving now. He's speeding.
that a foot?
He's a racetrack driver. Oh yeah, and he's got a foot turn signal, so he doesn't put it. If he turns left, he puts a foot in your ass. I like it.
That's not creepy.
Don't make me put a foot in your ass around this left turn as I fucking put you to the wall. Is that it? That's the front row. All
Someone did
right.
say, has Bowers gotten into Ben's Adderall? Because boom, boom, boom.
Cane is a hell of a drug. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know, yeah, I'm over it, man. I only do coke with famous people. That's my new rule, and you know, because now with the fentanyl and that shit. Because even if like I died, that would suck. But like if they're like.
But if
Your
it was
Bowers
with famous
died?
people-
Like, how'd he die? He was doing coke with George Clooney. Like, fuck, really? That'd be the
Right,
cool way to
yeah.
die. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna die doing coke.
Don't do
with-
it. Don't do it just for nothing. Like just by
Yeah, but-
yourself. That's just sad. But you know.
Right. But you know, but also we're trying to get through the VFR a little bit quicker. So you know, I was on a little bit of Adderall. I'm not Adderall yet, but I am flying around a little bit. So there we go. That's the VFR.
There has been
Now-
a couple topics already
Ooh,
added,
what
so
we
I
got
want to
so
let
far?
you guys know of some topics that have come in.
Okay.
And also, Giggle Pig's Tickle Blaster, by the way, is working. So he's like, oh, I can't draw in the office. I'm like, you know what you can do because you're on a computer? Paint program. So send in paint program arts as shitty doodles as well.
Photoshop jobs.
Photoshop jobs. All counts. All count as shitty doodles.
Yep.
So I'm excited for this new era of shitty doodles. Anyway, some topics. Abby suggested teleportation.
Nice.
Good topic.
No.
Wait.
It's a great topic.
Why do you not like teleportation? Taylor?
We've been over this. I hate it.
Not on
Well,
this show, we haven't.
You hate talking about it, or do you
No,
hate the
I
concept?
don't think I've ever met someone who had such strong emotions about teleportation.
Are
Has
you
it
afraid?
gone
Hi,
on?
my name
Are
is
you-
Taylor, and I hate teleportation.
All right. Well, this sounds like something I want to talk about. So this could be a good topic. Let's not
It
do it
could be.
now because it's
We'll
not part of
see.
3 topics. But let's move on because
We'll
Taylor, your hate
choose
of.
later.
I would like to. I am interested in why you hate teleportation so much. But anyway, keep going, Rach. What's
So
next?
maybe. Steph convinced me to change my mind about LA. I really like this one.
That's a good
Because
topic.
I felt similarly before I moved here, so possibly. And
Hate it or
then
love it.
I love it.
I hate it now that I'm here. No, I'm just kidding.
I've lived here my whole life. I hate it.
So it could be a good topic.
because you've never been anywhere else.
It's true.
Live in Indiana for 47 years,
No,
then
it's
tell
true.
me you
Look, I
hate
get it.
LA.
It's-
That's what I'm
right.
saying.
And then another topic, Anna Marie, most unusual birthday gifts. So that's
Ooh,
another
that's a
idea
good one, too.
for a topic.
That's super
So,
fun. All right.
Yeah, keep
Cool.
sending
Well,
in
keep
topic
rolling those
suggestions.
topics in again. The number one topic's going to be able to choose a topic next week and get FaceTime. It's going to be great. So,
And I will choose some unpaid ones, but yeah, if you guarantee you want us to read it out loud and debate on maybe we choose your topic, Venmo or PayPal.
very cool. All right, let's get to a set. We're going to do Myq first. Coming up right now, it's Myq Kaplan, everybody. Woo!
Hey, it's me. Thank you so much. Just real quick before I get started, everything will be before I get started, but I liked going through the front row when it got to, I think it was Sarah Green, and Bowers, you were like, what is that? You're in a rock band or are you in the green room? Yeah, the Sarah Green room, obviously. So like, if you ever do, I would say only do coke with. I just imagining other celebrities be like, Bowers died doing coke with Mother Teresa. Yeah, too bad. I also think Taylor doesn't like teleportation because that's what his full name is short for, Taylor-portation. So I assume like when it comes up. Another quick Bowers thing, when whoever had the fireplace behind, you were like, oh, it sounded to me, I think, and I could have misheard this, but it sounded to me like you said, what do you got, Brandy there, just sniffing by the fire? And I like the idea that I think Brandy often comes in a snifter, which is a kind of a glass that I don't know if it has anything to do with smelling, but it also does, Brandy smells good and fire smells good, so I got no problem with that. And this is just my impression of Bowers. Fast and boring, the Bowers story. Fast and boring, F-A-B, fab. You know, you can't spell Bowers without bore, but you add some other letters and it makes it more interesting. Oh, one other thing. I also just like, if we took out of context, I understand why he was saying it, but he said, it's 2008, come on. And I just like the idea that he thought that was the year that it was now, but I understand that is not so. So, also I would say, let's see, we still here? Great. I moved the screen. I wrote a lot of notes, but here's my favorite quote about the show so far. First time, new rules, everything is, if we get it figured out, it will work well. So that one down. And,
I mean, we've been
okay,
saying that. Oh, sorry, never mind.
No. If you say if, it's great. It's like if you say might. You know, the old expression, they say might makes right, which it usually means if you're strong, then you get your way. But it also could mean, like, if you add might, like maybe, to an expression, like it might rain tomorrow, that's definitely true. That statement is right. So adding might makes right. That's all I wanted to say. And so now that I think about halfway through my set, let's get started with it. I'm here to talk about crayons and abortion. So I'm actually going to abort those crayon jokes. But I do want to talk briefly about my girlfriend was out of town. I live with my girlfriend in New York. She was away for a week, and I was just in the home, and I'm like, I'm just gonna, like, you know, I can leave my stuff wherever I want and then put it away. Like when she's at, like, we like to keep a nice, neat home. We do. I like to do what she likes to do because I like for her. And my tone, like, don't read anything into it. This is how I feel. This is my truth. I know the truth. She knows the truth. She's listening right now. But one day while she was gone, I was gonna have a friend come over and, like, do a podcast or mushrooms or something, you know, some kind of activity. And she was like, oh, we didn't plan for a person to be over, like, so there's, like, some things hanging up, like she had done some laundry before, and she was like, well, just, I've got some, like, and I'm sorry that now to reveal the secrets of my relationship, but my girlfriend wears underwear. So that is a thing that I'm sorry to, like, you know, I don't like to talk too much about the private information you know, that she's not a public person, she's not a performer, she's not a comedian, but she's signed. Sometimes, look, I'm a truth teller, and my girlfriend wears underwear, and sometimes when it's drying, it's hanging where people can see it. So she's like, if you could just take the clothing that's down off the door while I'm gone, absolutely. And then later she was like, and did you get the dresses? I'm like, I got all the clothing down off the door. And then she gets home, you know, a few days later, and she says, I'm out doing something, and she's like, hey, you said you took the clothing down. I'm like, I absolutely did. And she said, the dresses that I asked you about, they are hanging up still in the doorway that you had to, like, walk through like an old West saloon, you know, or like curtains. I was just like walking. I exist more in time than in space, you know, like I make sure if we have to get to the movies, like I make sure I'm like, we got to leave now. And she's like, I'm dancing. I'm like, okay, well, let's dance to the movies, you know, like we both exist in time and space. Also, I did just get the light, so it is time for me to really start my set. So the point is that, like, she said, I was like, look, I definitely took everything down, and she just sent me a screenshot of two, like, not giant dresses. She's a slight person. She's a thin person. She's you know, the dresses, they do take up space. They don't take up time, though it does take up time in my set. But yeah, she sent me, and I was like, oh yeah, those are two. they're definitely dresses. They're full-size dresses. They're not microscopic. They were right in the doorway, and I did not see them whatsoever. So I didn't get scolded. But here's the thing. It wasn't like she was just like, we have to figure out a better way to communicate. Whereas if I say dress, you understand what I mean. So like, she's not a person who gets mad or yells at me. It's not like the classic like, oh, my wife, that kind of thing. Oh, my girlfriend, like that's Borat before he got married. My girlfriend, But essentially, if I was in any other relationship, I might have, for not taking the dresses down, gotten a dressing down. But I didn't. So now she can dress up, and we're all on the up and up, and that is all. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. We'll talk more on abortion later. Thanks so much, everyone.
Myq Kaplan, everybody. Tip jar is open. You can Venmo. You can PayPal us, cscshow.com. I guess, Mike, my thought is, and maybe I'm wrong here, but you sit next to a fire, and the brand, I've seen people, you swirl the brandy, and then you sniff it. I thought that's why it was called a snifter, is because it was for sniffing. Am I wrong?
I 100% now we all have the exact same amount of information. You're probably right, but I looked up snifter in the meantime, and it doesn't mention, it just says a footed glass that wide at the bottom and tapers at the top, used for brandy. It's a type of stemware whose vessel has a wide bottom and a relatively narrow top. Like, I feel like, why wouldn't it be mentioned?
It doesn't mention that's good for smelling? It doesn't mention that at all?
No mention of sniffing whatsoever. Yeah, it's a variant. It's called a pipe glass or pipe snifter. I mean, look, snifter, hardly know her, but no, I definitely don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's for sniffing or not. Well, maybe that'll be one of the topics, whether snifters for sniffing. I will say I had a similar thing with my girlfriend's clothes. I was dating, not Chrissy, but I was dating this my girl Lauren. She lived with me, and her room was always just a mess. It was just a mess. And she had dirty laundry everywhere, like loads and loads and loads. And so finally, I'm like, I'm going to be a good dude and be a good boyfriend. And I took it all to the laundromat, and I spent all day while she was working washing all of her clothes. It was like 6 industrial washers, like the big-ass laundromat washers stuffed full, and like 14 dryers. And so she comes home, and it's all clean. Her room's clean, and she just cries, and she's so excited. And she puts on the first shirt, and she goes, "You didn't dry this stuff, did you?"
Oh, no.
And I shrunk every fucking thing she owned in her whole life. It was the worst thing I ever did. I felt so terrible. Literally, I ruined every bit of clothing she ever had. Like, we had to buy all new. It was terrible. I've never felt worse in my life than when I ruined all of her clothes. I thought it'd be funnier, but no, it's just mean, I guess.
I also did buy my girlfriend some new dresses to replace the ones that were hanging the whole week, and thus did get stretched out. So now she has nice new dresses, and so now she can definitely more. Dress up.
They got stressed out. They got stretched out just from being on the door. Is that the deal?
The old dress. Yeah. The stress down and the dress up.
They were so stressed out from being outside the closet for a whole week that they needed to be new dresses. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, it would be nude dresses. But here's a quick thing about the snifter. Also, I know you can put whiskey in it as well, and then if a cat drinks it, it's called a whisker. So.
Oh, God. Rach, we got any tips coming in?
All right. Okay, remember, you can tip on Venmo and PayPal. So we had Frankie Berman tip you $5 and said, great set. We also had Kim Stewart tip and say, I think I'm still trying to catch up, but great stuff.
Thank you. I think you're also trying to catch up. I appreciate it.
To catch up to a rising star. It's a great comedy.
What?
Oh, I like it. There's a comedy club called Catch a Rising Star, and so Catch Up to a Rising Star is a play on that, though it did also sound like ketchup. So, which they sell at Catch a Rising Star. It's
they give it to you for free. They don't sell it. It just comes with the burgers. But,
that's true. But if you want a lot of extra, they'd probably charge you a little.
No, they don't actually. I've gotten a bunch, and they're totally good.
You've just eaten.
Catch a Rising Star is a very solid ketchup policy. Their ketchup policy is great. It is really generous.
You ever go to?
What'd you say, Jody?
Perform in a vat actually of ketchup, and they were like, "We'd be happy to oblige." And so it was just Bowers like in a small little pool.
You know how some people
a kiddie pool.
You know, some people stomp on the wine, the grapes to make wine. Oh. The Catch a Rising Star, you stomp on the tomatoes to make the ketchup. It's the same kind of concept.
I was thinking about you're like Uncle Scrooge is to a vat of money, as Bowers is to ketchup. And Here's
For sure. Can I say the greatest Halloween costume I saw over the weekend? So we're walking, and I was a sexy lumberjack, so I'm dressed like a lumberjack. And this homeless dude goes, Paul Newman? I go, well, you're thinking Paul Bunyan, but you're close, right? He goes, and he goes, you know what I am? And I go, no. And he goes, the ghost of Christmas past.
Oh.
So I had to give him money.
Really was.
Well, what I'm saying is he's calling me Scrooge. Like, basically, he's like, I can only use this joke once a year. I'm the ghost of Christmas past. This is your future. You better give me money. So I gave him $20. And I thought it was a great fucking joke from a homeless guy. To tell someone with money that they're the ghost of Christmas past and you're Scrooge if you don't give me money on Halloween is unbelievable.
I agree, but now the good news is that you can use that as a joke to make your money back. All throughout the year. It's a Christmas miracle. If I can also say, one of the very first jokes I ever wrote, this is ketchup related as well, in a way. When I was like 15, I was at summer camp and I was in a play and we went to rehearse off campus and we were coming back. We stopped at Dunkin' Donuts and I saw that Dunkin' Donuts sandwiches, a ham, egg, and cheese sandwich cost the same as a ham and cheese sandwich. And so I was like, so eggs are free. So it's like you should be able to just go into Dunkin' Donuts and ask for all your eggs, citing the math that I just performed there. And I ran that by them and they did not agree with me. But the point is, Catch a Rising Star, much more generous with the ketchup. I assumed it would be like one of my favorite restaurants, the V-Spot in Brooklyn, that they give you salsa for free with chips. But if you want to take home like a bottle of salsa, they sell it to you. But you could just go clean out Catch a Rising Star of ketchup. I'm heading there right after this.
Yeah, it's all the ketchup you can eat. It's really not a bad deal.
But you have to only eat ketchup. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't even put it on
I'm just
food.
glad that everyone's brain in this conversation today seems to be working as fast as mine is, because mine is just also very fast, not a lot of instruction, and all over the place. So like when Bauer started off with like, here's today, blah, 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 I was like, oh, thank God. This is just right where I need to be. In a land of confusion and ketchup. So thank you, Myq. I do appreciate you.
And I you.
The land of confusion and ketchup is a fun shirt. Rach, we got anything else we could cover it?
Yeah, more tips. Molly tipped Myq $10 and said, "Did you start this set before you finished? I loved it all."
And that brings it back to teleportation, Taylor.
It's going back, Taylor.
That's a joke that's going on. That's a blur. Can you read that one more time? I want to put that on my website.
Did you start the set before you finished?
I think she finished the set before she started. Right?
Did you start this? I mean,
you finished the set before you started.
Because I definitely normally do start sets before I finish. But did you
I think you finished the set before you started.
Yeah.
Right.
I also I've never thought about this, that I guess teleportation is kind of like time travel, but in space.
Yes.
Sure.
Because the time.
All right, thank you.
Because it's time travel because you're saving the time that it would take to travel.
Oh yeah, save time travel. Yeah, absolutely. Catch a Rising Star, save a time of travel. Yeah.
That's also Spirit Airlines motto. Is
Oh
save
yeah,
time
I'm a
travel.
bigger fan of like mind and body airlines, but I like Spirit too. Yeah.
Spirit Airlines slogan should be "Fuck you" was $26.
Right? That's what their flight attendants say as you leave the plane, actually. Instead of goodbye, they just go, fuck you, it's $26.
Right.
Let's see. Robin tipped you and said, "You want to be like Myq? Then drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot."
I like it.
And just a reminder, if you do have shitty doodles and you want to email them to us, you don't have to send them all at once. You can send them as you draw them. So it doesn't need to be sent all at the end of the show.
So you're me in a ketchup vat. You could send that in right now. So Taylor can get it ready to go and not have to.
If anyone has a picture of that actually happening, which I'm sure they do, please send that in as well.
Jody, can you stop talking, please? Please stop talking. I don't need actual people to send them.
Photoshop it now.
Yes. And we had some generals. So we had, let's see, first Dana said to Cass for finally getting someone to pronounce her name right.
Hey, look at that. She grows up.
To me, I was the one that pronounced it right.
Hey, by the way, just because you pronounced one thing right in the entire history of this show doesn't mean we're going to clap every time.
Okay.
There was one, oh God, I can't remember, but it was a good one that you did one day. I'll remember it. A pronunciation
The
that
Myq
made everything
Me? Because I
Oh,
remember that
Milk
one
Me.
vividly.
Did you just say Milk Me? Yeah, there was that one.
My favorite
something
is
else, but-
my favorite ever was Semper Fi, when the Marines said Semper Fi Marines, and she said Semper Fi. That was very funny.
Well, everything has a cost, you know. You got to pay that Semper fee. Yeah.
Cass says, Jody, because I'm often in a land of confusion and catch up, but mostly confusion.
Me too.
And then we had a couple more ideas for topics come in. So Brad Clark wants to know the dumbest thing you've ever said or did at the beginning of a relationship. That's a good one. Marielle, in celebration of the 4-year-old Aussie girl that was found, tell a story, hopefully funny, of the time that you were lost and that you couldn't find someone.
Oh, I've got a great one for that.
All right.
Okay, that might be Jody's pick. And then Berman, your favorite Simpsons episodes. All right, these are really good. Okay, we're ready for Jen.
All right, coming up next, it's Jen Murphy, everybody! Woo!
Oh, thank you. I was wondering if I was going to get a chance to speak. I wasn't sure the way the show's been going. Jody, I'm glad that your brain works fast because I have a headache from trying to catch all these words. Everything's moving so fast.
I didn't say it works. It just goes. It just goes fast. It doesn't work.
I have a slow brain, so I'm trying to catch everything that's going on. I'm like exhausted. All right. I will say there's a lot that has surprised me in the last 2 years, but nothing more than Bowers saying he's afraid to talk. I don't know. I literally have like 4 hours of new material every 3 weeks. Like, Bowers? I thought that was your favorite thing to do. I love you, Bowers. I'm so happy to be back. I love this new format. I'm glad you guys are still doing it. It's been an interesting 2 weeks for me. I had to spend all night in a hospital, not to be a downer, because of a family member that was ill.
Oof.
But I had the thought, why is the hospital like the one place where they don't put a bar? You can find a bar everywhere else you go. I'm like, if there's any place that needs it, it's a hospital. And I think they need happy hour between 12 and 6 a.m. Because if you're there at those hours, shit is real. Like, can I please just get a beer while I wait for? Okay, I won't continue. I don't want to be a total downer, but I've made a lot of bad choices in my life. I think that's evident by all of you that have seen me here before. You really haven't hit rock bottom until you go back to a hotel with a guy and he uses one of those gold packet to-go butters as lube.
Ouch.
Thanks, Bowers. I knew I could count on you for that. Guys, it's not that I want to do this behavior. I don't really want to have casual sex. It's just I'm really not good at relationships. I'm not good. This is my problem. I think I'm just like too OCD for relations. I get crazy. I'm not just waiting for text messages. It just sends me over the edge. Like I suddenly become like a heroin addict when I'm just waiting for somebody to text me back. I'm just like, please text me. I need to go to work. Just lying on the floor. Anyway, also I realized Myq and Powers, you guys have fancy girlfriends. I'm very impressed. I've never owned a pair of underwear that couldn't be put in hot water and bleach and come out just fine. You need to introduce these girls to Target. They don't like the underwear, better for you. They just won't wear underwear. There you go. More for everybody. I don't feel like I'm too picky when it comes to men. I just have certain priorities. My latest one is I just want a guy who can afford to take me to a restaurant where they devein the shrimp before they serve it to you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your honesty when you don't like something. I've been watching a lot of sports because I'm a lonely single woman, and there's a huge difference when you go to a bar where they don't have any sound while they're playing the sports, and it's just like loud music. Like I can't watch a UFC fight with like Justin Bieber playing in the background. Like it suddenly just becomes like I'm just watching like combination of like The Notebook and Brokeback Mountain. Like watching that with no sound, I'm just looking at it. I'm just like, my God, no man has ever touched me this passionately. You can't hear anything. It just becomes like erotic. And basketball just becomes completely boring because then I just feel like I'm watching like old clips of like high school drills. It's just men running back and forth. Okay, I should end it with you. See? I'm sweating. I feel like I'm getting, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting kind of angrier as I get older. Like, not just angry at like really random stuff that I shouldn't be mad at. Nothing specific. Like, I got angry at the wind recently. Like, I was walking down the street and it was really windy and like a piece of my hair like blew into my mouth and it like stuck to my lipstick. And I just got so angry. I just looked up into the sky and I was like, really? And then I'm just like, great. Now I'm just that like middle-aged woman yelling into the clouds. One of my friends told me I should try meditation. She's like, you should try and meditate. I'm like, I don't understand how that's gonna help. I can't do it. I tried. I just end up obsessing for like an hour about why like my mom still doesn't trust me to make the mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. Or why my ex-boyfriend preferred that I use my toes instead of my hands. If you ladies don't know what I'm talking about, then good for you. Maybe I should get some better underwear. That might help. I'm so happy to be here. My name's Jen Murphy. Thank you for having me.
Jen Murphy, everybody. Tip jar is open. You can Venmo or you can PayPal. Super good. Jen, I think when they use butter for the lube, you got to do it like corn on the cob and just roll the dick in it. I think is how you do it. That's what you...
To be honest with you, that happened like 15 years ago, and the memory just came to me today, and I was like, oh, I got to do this for Bowers.
That's so funny. So did he rub it on his dick? Like, how do you do it? What do you mean?
I don't know. It was so long ago. I worked at a Greek diner in New York, and he was the manager, and I think he just took some of those little butter packets home with him or something. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Was that his kink? Was the butter?
You know what? I was so young and stupid. I don't know.
You were 30. Like, you were 30. You were 30, by the way. But okay.
No, I was like 24 at that time. I feel like
that wasn't 15. That wasn't 15 years ago.
I still feel like also if you're over the age of maybe like 13, or unless that's your thing, butter is really a terrible lubricant. It just.
Wait, are you speaking from experience? You know butter's a terrible lubricant?
Sounds like
no. I'm just saying, like, unless.
But how do you know it's a terrible lubricant?
Well, I'm not saying it's a terrible lubricant. I just feel
I'll
like
handle this one. It's because it's not a vegan product, so it's harmful to animals.
Thank you, Myq.
So you don't put butter on your dick because you're a vegan, Myq. That's your position.
That's one main reason.
Fair,
yes.
Right.
Fair.
Also, I'm pretty sure at every sex shop they tell you like, don't get your vibrators near butter. That's just, or is that? Did they just say that to me?
You have a look on your face that says you're going to put some shit in butter, so they're like, just don't put.
Okay, yeah.
Every time you come in here, Jody, you're bringing back your dildo because it's broken. We find butter in it. We're like, God damn it, quit putting butter on your dildos. I get it.
Bowers, you know
now
that I
know
prefer
why.
mayonnaise.
But it's spelled M-A-N, man-aise.
Mayonnaise. There you go. I think you're right, though, Jen, about the bar at the hospital. How they not have a bar at the hospital is crazy. I get it. I mean, because they have bars at Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, fuck, man.
Yeah, but they're not doing surgery at Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't know, man. I've been in a pinch. That rat. I don't know if you knew this, but that in 2008, that rat took out my appendix. So don't be ripping on. That's why that date's in my head so much because so many things happen to me then.
Can I tell you a quick thing about Chuck E. Cheese? When I saw they went bankrupt about a year ago, Chuck E. Cheese filed for Chapter 11. It was pretty fun.
That's pretty good. I like
Chapter
that.
Edward Levin.
My friend's daughter thought that Chuck E. Cheese was Chuck and Jesus.
Oh, fun.
So when she was little, she was like, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese. She was like, you mean Chuck and Jesus?
Like Chippendales.
So
Yeah. Chuck and Jesus. That's the managers of Chuck E. Cheese.
You ever seen the thing they do at Chuck E. Cheese with the stamps? That's kind of neat. When you come in with your kids, they put a stamp, but they change the number so if you're Chuck E. Cheese
Right, so
38,
right.
you can't leave with kids that don't have a number 38 on their wrist with the same number as yours.
I feel like that's. Never mind. I'm not even gonna make that joke because it's just really dark.
Oh, we
I know
like
what
dark
you're
jokes.
I was like,
Yeah.
didn't they? No, I was gonna say, didn't they just prevent the sale of that from some museum in the little, the tattoo ink thing? It wasn't formed properly, and then it just came out messy.
I don't know where that was going, but all right,
I don't know. It was an ill-formed joke. It was ill-formed.
I have a question for people that like Justin Bieber growing up. Is anybody disappointed that he ended up looking like a meth head from St. Louis? Like, he's not hot like you thought he was going to be, right? Like, you guys thought he was going to end up like this hot dude, and now he's like, he looks like he lives in
Speaking from
Tallahassee and sells
experience.
bath salts out of his trunk, right?
That, speaking from experience, that would still be one of the better-looking tweakers that anyone has ever seen. Not saying he's cute. Not saying he's cute.
Gotcha.
Just
But for a
saying,
meth head, he's okay.
I'm just saying.
Bowers liked him better when he was 16 years old.
That's not my point.
the
I
hair.
I never liked him. It was just, he was one of those guys that was all the women were in love with, and I just thought he grew up weird looking.
He was such a beautiful child. Man.
Oh,
what a waste.
I'm going to interrupt here and give Jen some money instead.
There we go. Let's do some tips. Thank you.
I don't have the
Why,
quiet
Rach?
sign
Why?
anymore. The quiet sign has been sent to Molly, and also we added Jody's signature on it, so that got sent out.
Bonus Jody signature.
So instead, Jen, let's give you some tips. Frankie Berman tipped you and said, great set.
Thank you,
Kim
Frankie.
Stewart sent $5 and said, tired works for you. So hilarious.
That's called a neg, Jen. You're probably going to date Kim Stewart very soon. When she's like, oh my God, tired works. You look so tired, but you're so great.
Oh, I'll take it.
Does the 50 under 50 include women? Is my
Ooh,
question.
there you go.
Oh, it hasn't
maybe
yet,
Kim-
but sure.
All right, Kim. Shoot your shot.
Depends
Molly
on
sent you
the
10.
What's that?
It depends on how big the tip is, and she's not talking about the money. Molly sent you $10 and said, for some fancy deveined shrimp and comfy bleachable Target brand bloomers.
Yes. Afford both of those.
Abby tipped, if you think no alcohol in the hospital is bad, recently the coffee machines in the cafeteria and the doctor's lounge were broken at the same time.
Oh my God, no coffee. Or what? Without coffee, what do you put your booze in, Abby? That's no good. You can't hide it at all.
I guess. Let's see. Brad Clark sent $10 for each comic. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brian.
Jennifer Story sent $5 for each comic and said they don't have bars in hospitals because the nursing staff would be drunk, guaranteed.
I was thinking a no employees allowed bar.
Yeah, there definitely be a no alcohol beyond this point. Like, you shouldn't be like, wandering around
that
the room with
works.
open drinks.
That works.
What's that?
I said, because that works.
It really does. You bring alcohol.
First of all, if you're not bringing your own alcohol to the hospital, I don't know what you're doing. I'm just saying.
Are we talking about the same kind of hospital now, Jody? I think maybe we switched to kind of hospitals we're talking about now.
No, I'm talking about every single kind.
Every single-
Animal
Doctor's
hospital.
offices,
Yeah.
dentists, whatever.
Dentist would be interesting. Gargle this and then swallow.
There you go.
That's
if it was
what
a
he
shot.
said.
Oh, don't gargle
I
it.
regret it.
Oh.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Okay,
there's
I'm
not
gonna
enough,
vomit.
not
Oh my
enough
God,
pineapple.
Rachel,
There's not enough
God,
pineapple
get
in
a
the
sign.
world for you to gargle it. Jesus.
Poor Rachel.
Would you-
Everything gets turned dirty. Look at her face. She's like, come on, guys.
We're talking about mouthwash, right? Just like a snifter full of
Yeah.
mouthwash.
Snifter
exactly.
full of pineapple flavored mouthwash. That's what we're talking about.
Cindy Wood, thank you for sending each comic $15. Appreciate that.
Hey, thanks, Cindy Wood.
Thank you, Cindy.
And Dory sent in a late tip for Myq, $10 towards therapy for the stressed dresses.
Ha 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 ha. Thank you so much. That will go a long way.
Nate, say stress to the dress. I think it's a new show on TLC you could do, Mike. That'd be fun.
I like that a lot.
Stress. I like it.
Your fans are so nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think we're caught up. We're ready to, so last chance for topics, so please send those in. These are a couple more that came through. We had Victoria Scattereggio. Have you ever been mistaken for another celebrity that you might look like?
Okay.
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 Wendy had one. Most embarrassing encounter with a member of the general public. So embarrassing for the other person that you ended up with secondhand embarrassment.
Okay, so where somebody else was so embarrassed, you were embarrassed for them? Or
Yeah, like you got so, like they were so embarrassed that you just, your skin, we've all
Gotcha.
had that, right?
Okay.
So I think, I think those are the topics that have come in. So
Okay, so
All right.
let me just give a quick rundown.
Yeah, let's do a quick rundown.
So a quick rundown of the ones. Actually, let me. I'm gonna go through. Here's a couple unpaid ones that I really like too. Julia Creador said Taylored, so we get to discuss Taylored. Dizzy by Nature, worst first date, and then Gus had whether or not to get back together with your ex. So those were some unpaid ones that I liked.
Okay. Cool.
And then so I think so. Just as a reminder, there's teleportation. Sorry, Taylor. Convince me to change my mind about LA. Unusual birthday gifts. Dumb things that have happened at the beginning of a relationship. If you've ever been lost. Favorite Simpsons episodes. Embarrassing encounter for somebody else. Secondhand embarrassment. And celebrity lookalikes. So I think those are the topics that we each pick one.
Right. Somebody want to pick one first? Someone really have a one they love that they want to just pick first?
I do.
Okay. Yeah,
What you
me
got?
too.
I was
Right.
going to say worst first dates.
Okay. Mike, which one do you want to do?
I want teleportation.
Perfect. Jody.
Did we say the story about getting lost as a kid, at some point?
Not
Yeah.
yet. You want that one?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jen?
I put should you get back with your ex?
Okay.
Okay.
So X is one, and then I'm gonna do. I like Simpsons, but I'm gonna go celebrity lookalike, just because I think that'll be fun for a little bit. So let's go celebrity lookalike. So we got. So here's the poll, Taylor. It's the Lost one, the celebrity lookalike, teleportation, X, and the worst first date. Oh, let you do 4.
Yeah, for some reason, it won't let me do 4.
You can take out teleportation if you
Oh,
want.
No, actually, celebrity lookalike was my second choice.
Okay, I think he's lying. I think
I am not lying.
And I think he's like, oh, sorry,
All right,
guys.
we're talking
one
about.
has to
Look,
go.
we're talking about teleportation and then the other 2. So put the other 4 on there, and the other 2 will get voted.
Celebrity lookalike was my second choice, so I'll go with that one too. You can get
Alright,
rid of the
got it.
back with the X thing.
It's okay.
All right,
I like back with the
And
X
while
factor.
Taylor's putting together that poll, Steph Andrews had a general. Jody, did you really go to Australia and not tell me? She said.
No, I
Wouldn't
did
have been
not go to
recently.
Australia. I did not go to Australia. I did a Zoom Australian morning show, but I did not actually go to Australia. I've never been to Australia, so I wouldn't do that to you, Steph. I wouldn't do that. I would make sure that I came with welcoming pineapples and spread all of the love.
I have been to Australia, and I'm sorry I didn't tell you. It was 6 years ago before this show existed, so.
Yeah. We got a poll, Taylor?
Yeah.
There's a poll on YouTube, and then there will be one in Zoom as well. So
Okay.
again, the topic so far, I think we are going to talk about teleportation, and then the top 2 out of these next 4 are going to also be a topic that we talk about. There was a late tip that had come in for Jen from Dory. Sent you $10 and said, towards your genius hospital bar business plan.
Thank you.
Nice.
Food truck. Start a bar
Great.
food truck.
Greatly
Park it
appreciate
outside.
it. Or maybe I'll just sell mini bottles at the door, since Jody said we should bring our own alcohol.
Todd McConis always wanted to have a food truck that sold venison, and the front end was all smashed to shit like you'd hit a deer.
There's just a deer halfway out of the windshield.
That's a great idea.
Okay, so the poll is happening. Let me actually.
Everyone, don't look now, but there's a guy here that looks like Steve Hofstetter.
What?
No.
Pop in.
Oh my God!
Everybody.
Steve. Popping into the new format. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
That shirt looks real nice. It'd be a shame if somebody had to cut the sleeves off of it.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta go.
He's here
Yeah.
for the celebrity lookalike portion.
Yes, yes. Yeah, if you want to jump into the topic, we're doing a thing called 3 topics today, Steve, or the audience has been throwing in topic suggestions, and we just picked our favorite 5. We're doing a poll to see which 3 we're going to talk about. Teleportation and 2 other things.
So far in the YouTube chat, worst first date and getting lost are the top 2. We'll combine both the Zoom and YouTube, and then we have got 3 topics we're gonna.
All right. So who's what do you need to know? The number one. Who had the number 1 overall votes though?
So teleportation. So far, so that was one we chose already. So that was Abby. And then worst first date I think was Dizzy by Nature, and then celeb lookalike is now Getting Lost. No, Getting Lost is number 2. So Getting Lost was I think Mary.
Well, I will just chime in real quick and say I'm all in favor of teleportation because I'm in Florida right now.
You're talking about teleportation. So I think worst first date is the winner, right, Rach? That's the one that's.
Well, not yet. Let them keep voting.
Okay.
It's close.
It is close.
Yeah, it is so close, just like any election in Florida. It's 1 vote away.
Are you in a dorm room? What are all those stickers behind you?
Yeah, Steve, tell us about what's going on.
I'm backstage at the Lake Park Black Box at the Kelsey Theater.
Nice.
Lake Park, Florida is a part of Florida that nobody's heard of. It's like right by Palm Beach. We were trying to figure out because we were just in Orlando, and someone described Orlando to me as the Vegas of Florida. And I told that to Jarrett, and he was like, no, that's the Atlantic City of Florida. Which is weird because Florida is the Atlantic City of America, which is difficult because America already has an Atlantic City. But as states go, Florida is the Atlantic City of America, and America is the Florida of the world. So it was
I
a
follow
whole
that,
thing.
yeah.
We had to try to figure that out.
I also like.
Thank you, Jarrett.
I like that every place that you named is just like Palm Beach, Lake Park. They're like, what's 2 things around here?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there's one called Trailer Meth. But
There you go.
All right, so we've got the topics. So
All right.
teleportation,
Yep.
worst first date, and getting lost.
All right. And
So those are the top 3. So we've got
the worst first date was
Abby?
the number 1. First date was number 1, right? In the polls, it was number
well,
1.
so
I'm just
in the
saying.
polls, yeah. So Dizzy.
The worst first date
So
is
Dizzy
the,
by
is-
Nature.
is the first winner of today's show. Is the worst first date.
Okay.
And that's the first winner of the show.
So Dizzy by Nature.
And who picked that one?
Dizzy by I did. So I
All right,
get
so
to
you
start
you
that
talk
topic.
first. So
Okay, so my worst first date, I was in London and a guy took me out on a first date and brought his friend with him, unbeknownst to me, and it was terrible first date, really awkward, weird. Liked his friend a lot as a friend, was fine. I get home and then he sends me a video of him masturbating and fingering his butthole.
Wait.
The
So many
friends?
questions.
Yeah.
First of all, when you said he brought his friend unbeknownst to you, you mean unbeknownst to you ahead of time, or you mean like at some point during the date, you're like, wait a minute, are you friends with this guy here? Like he was like hiding behind a booth?
No, I show up to the date and he's like, hey, my friend's here too. I was like,
And also, when you say he was masturbating and fingering his butthole, you mean his or his? Like
His
when you say
owner,
his
his
butthole,
friend.
do you mean his friend?
yeah, his friends.
oh God, help me.
He
if
brought
it
a
was his
friend to
friends.
the date, and then later he sent a video of him jerking off and fingering his friend's butthole. Is that what happened?
No,
No.
his
He
own puddle.
was jerking off. The friend was fingering the butthole.
Oh.
The friend was
Wait, wait, wait.
fingering the friend's
Andy.
butthole, or the friend was fingering
The
his
friend was
butthole?
fingering the date's butthole, and
Okay, here's
the guy
my
was
question.
Right.
Was he doing?
It was a
he-
two-person sort of operation.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to
Was he-
hold the
was he
camera.
jerking off?
I mean, my God, somebody's got to hold the camera. So.
Well, that's my question. How do you see? Are these 2 separate videos, or is he jerking off and fingering his
No,
butthole at the same
what?
time? And how'd the camera
He was
get both?
doing
Was there
this,
2
and
different
then
angles?
He slipped it. He had he was filming himself like this, and then
Wait, but also, Rachel.
So my first date.
Rachel, how is it that you let it play long enough?
it wasn't that long.
I
just saw
if he was,
neither
this,
was
and I
he,
was like,
apparently.
"What is? Wait, it's a video? Nobody
Like,
sends
what's he
an
doing with his
unsolicited
finger?
dick
Oh
video.
no! Oh,
Do you still have the video?
Oh.
I'm sure it's on a hard drive somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I had someone once I was being very flirty with someone, and she sent me what looked like a picture of her kind of masturbating off frame. And it was like, or I mean a video. It's like, oh, this is like seemingly a pretty hot video. And then all of a sudden, some dude's hairy arm comes into frame to like touch her. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to see. No, this isn't. No.
Arms are gross.
No, she like sent me her homemade porn with someone else she was dating. I was like, absolutely not.
Are you sure it wasn't your arm? Did you take a close look? Maybe that was.
I'm pretty sure my arm
Maybe
is.
she was sending you game tape, Steve. Maybe she was sending you game tape.
Steve waxes his arms, so it's pretty easy to see. Yeah.
The idea, I think I could tell the difference between a red-headed arm and a non-red-headed arm, but yeah.
Jody, Steve waxed with his arms. It's different. Myq, what was your worst first date?
Well, one time I was on this date and the girl was making this video and I just stuck my hairy arm into it. And then another time I went out with Rachel and brought my friends. So I don't know what the problem is. Final answer.
Dan, you got one? You got a worst date? You got a worst date?
I think my worst first date was probably when my dad was there. Because my dad
Was he the date?
Hold on.
I didn't know you were.
My dad set me up on a blind date, and I didn't even know it until I arrived. So I was with my dad and my stepmom and some guy.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Were they like feed him lines? Like, no, Brian's good at this. Tell him about your story, Jen, about the time you went to the thing. Was like doing that whole thing?
Well, it was one of those, what made it worse is this guy tried, you know when some people find out you're a comedian, so they try really hard to be a comedian while they're around you?
Oh, no.
He was doing like act outs, like throwing his leg in the air. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed for you.
And the date, not your dad, right? Your dad wasn't doing that. That was the date.
No, my dad was doing that too.
And Jen,
they were doing. They were yes-anding each other at the table.
When all four of you went home and they were like, here, put your keys in this bowl, that was when things really
Her dad's like, don't pick that one. Don't pick that one. God damn it, that's gross.
That was good. That was good, Jody.
Jen, how old were you when this happened?
Oh, this just happened 3 months ago.
Oh my God. Because I'm just trying to figure out, is there like a limit of when you can like, when you can file for, what's the term when you divorce your parent?
Emancipation.
Emancipation, yeah. When you file for emancipation, can you do that like as an adult? Does it matter?
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve. I was just so glad to know that my dad doesn't watch any of my content. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to contribute to 50 before 50.
He's like, I got your next two, babe. Here you go. Being a good dad.
He's like, number 38. May I present you with number 38?
You're like, Dad, it's cute. You think that's 38. Anyway, Jody, what was your worst?
Ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling! New topic!
Jody, speaking of your Jody's real fast. Jody's real fast.
my worst first date was when a guy who I remained friends with for a little while after, a really sweet guy who's a professional BMX rider, showed up with his car that had gotten into a car accident, so the passenger side didn't open. So I had to crawl through the driver's seat. He was like, I'm really sorry about this. And then we got to the restaurant and we had dinner. And then he realized he hadn't activated his new card. And so he just had the old one and it got denied and I had to pay for dinner. And he also took his front teeth out. So there was that.
He's a BMX biker, so he broke them wrecking.
That was the least of the things that were like broken on, like steel plate in the head, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. Surprisingly, I didn't marry that one.
Nice. Hey, lady.
Hi, lady.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Good. We're having a good time. This isn't mine, but I'll tell you one quick one, Jody. My friend Erica, who used to run the Wiley's Club in Dayton, or she still runs, it was still my good friend. She went on a first date with a guy and had done a background check on him because that's what she does for work, so she's pretty serious about it, and like had a great night. He like paid for this awesome dinner, and he took her drinking, dancing. They had such a good time. He spent all this money, but he was just so fun and cool that she ended up sleeping with him. The next morning, she wakes up, she realizes that at dinner, he had taken her debit card out of her wallet and paid for the whole date with her money.
No.
That is so impressive.
I don't know if that's the douchiest thing I've ever heard or the coolest thing I've ever heard, but it's one of the two.
Or was it just him being like, by the way, I'm also a magician? Like, was that?
Is this your card? Is that what you're saying?
He was gonna do that on the second date, right?
Are are we sharing first date stories? Because I have a
Bad
pretty
ones,
good one.
yes.
Yes,
Right.
we're sharing bad
Yes.
first date stories.
Mine is pretty short. So I went on a really bad first date, and afterwards I told the guy there would not be a second date. And a few years later, I started working at the place where the date took place, and his mom knew that. His mom came to where I worked and told me that I should have given her son a second shot. And then he left.
Hey.
Oh no.
That is the most Gen Z story I've ever fucking heard.
And did
And
you?
somebody's mom showed up to their fucking girl who rejected him and said, "You should give my son a second chance." Holy fuck.
And I
And-
was
He
like,
obviously lives
no.
with his mom, right?
Yeah. And so how was, well, yeah, but he was a teenager at the time. How,
Oh,
Loser. Yeah.
so how was the second date?
Well, it was his mom came along for the
Yeah.
second date.
All right, now
All
we'll
right,
do a
ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
new topic. Here we go.
Let's talk about the lost one. Jody, that one's all you.
Oh. I
Yeah.
have a good lost story. So we were shooting Full House when I was young. I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. And we were shooting it in Vegas at the Hilton. And Elvis's suite is still up at the top of the Hilton. You can go for a tour in the big whatever Elvis suite up there. And we, of course, a bunch of people on the show wanted to go. So we head up there with a group of people. And there were some other people that had come up as well that weren't necessarily with us. We're touring around. They're showing us, the bullet holes that are still there from when Elvis used to get loaded and shoot things in the room and whatever. I decide, I'm like, okay, well, I'm done. And I get in the elevator to go back down, thinking my mom is there. I get in, I hit the casino floor, and I realize my mom's not in the elevator with me. So instead of staying put, which was probably what I should have done, I decided to go wandering around looking for my mom as an 8-year-old in the Vegas casino. And this is the days before cell phones, before none of it. So my mom is frantically searching for me in a Vegas hotel for like a couple hours. And yeah, that was, and then finally I went to like my studio teacher's room, and my mom had called everyone in the production, everyone's hotel room, and finally she found me like 2 hours later. And it was not the first time my mom has had to come find me in Vegas, but or not the last time, rather.
Not the last time, but the first
Jody,
time.
But it was the first time.
Jody has, and was the show on the air for a bit already at that point?
Yeah.
You were kind of famous already. You were
So,
famous.
for
so
sure.
the idea that you are in Vegas, they just assumed you were a Jodie Sweetin lookalike.
Probably. Yeah, exactly. They were like, oh, who's that little woman who's an 8-year-old that looks like Stephanie Tanner? And that
They were like,
exactly.
I can't believe someone dressed up their kid like Stephanie Tanner. Or they're like, wow, this casino has everything.
That's what
I'm
it
just
was.
imagining an 8-year-old Jodie Sweetin who's been hanging out with Saget and those guys too long, standing on a milk crate throwing craps at the fucking Hilton until her mom.
That
Also-
may have been the more accurate depiction of it. Yeah.
Y'all
Except
know,
I didn't need the milk crate. I just looked over the top. It was Vegas, long time ago. They didn't care.
Vegas is technically the Orlando of the world, so.
I will be there tonight. If you are in Vegas over the next couple days, hit me up.
Nice. Jen, you ever been lost? And by the way, remember, you guys can comment if you want to throw in a lost story in the comments for $5. The best comment also wins, so you can throw in comments. Jen, you got a lost story?
Yeah, well, mine also has to do with the casino, but it's a little bit sadder because I was an adult and I felt like I was with a boyfriend. I felt like I was a little too drunk, so I'm like, I'm gonna go find the car. But I got into the parking lot. I could never find the car because they have those like 4.
Oh yeah, no, you're never finding the car.
So instead, I just went and sat down like by a wall, like behind another parked car, just sat. And I think I may have fallen asleep for a little bit. I don't know. Nobody helped me. Nobody tapped me on the shoulder to be like, "Are you okay, woman?" But I bet I am somebody's Instagram photo somewhere.
I was, and I got a jet after this, but when John Lovett's Comedy Club used to be at Universal City in LA, I had a spot there with Adam Hunter, and we were running late, and so he just parks real quick. They sent us they have preferred parking, so they send us to preferred parking. I didn't know that where the garage where preferred parking is changes.
So confusing.
Apparently it changes based on the hour of how many people, what spots are available. So they send us to preferred parking, and we're running late. We're not really paying attention where we parked. And so then we run into the club, we find it, we go, we do the spot afterward, we go to try to find the car. We can't figure out which garage we parked in and which level of which garage. And I think there are 4 different garages and like 5 levels per garage.
They're huge.
It's fucking impossible. So we're wandering for a while. We can't find it. We find staff. We go, hey, it was preferred parking, and they point us to another garage, and that's not where we were. And so then Adam starts chatting up these girls who then agree to drive us around. We still can't find the car. Finally, we go to like the security office, and we're in the security office basically filing some report so that they can try to drive us around and find the car. And in walks John Roy, who also lost his car, and security ended up driving all 3 of us around, and we were parked next to each other in some... Yeah. I have no idea why none of us could find the car.
Hilarious. You got one, Myq?
Well, Steve, thanks for popping in.
Oh, thanks for Steve. We love you, buddy.
Hey, thanks,
Bye, guys. I'm going to get set up for the show.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick one. One time I was at a casino and I was fine, but my money was lost. So $200, $400 the first time I went to a casino, and then I was like, I'm get lost, casino. That's what I said to you.
Awesome. All right, let's do the last one. I think we get the
Real
topic. One last one.
Teleportation. Taylor, did you want to start this
Taylor,
one?
why do you hate teleportation so much?
Okay, because people see teleportation as just this easy get around to other places, and the science behind it is too scary for me. To make teleportation happen, you have to deconstruct your body and then reconstruct it. There's no transportation at all. It's killing you, and then maybe you're alive on the other end.
Oh, so you're basically saying that they're going to kill you and then 3D print you later, and you just hope the meat works out? That's your
That
fear?
is how the science works, yes.
Okay, are you afraid of being turned into half a fly? Is that part of your problem?
No, I would love that. It's just no guarantee that I'll be that half a fly.
Gotcha.
What if like when you teleport, you sort of like you're 2 people are going to the same spot and they kind of wind up mixing, and then like.
Okay, now you're making my nightmare even worse. That's not even
You
what
know
I
what
have
I
a
mean?
problem with.
Like me and Myq, we're going somewhere, and all of a sudden there's now like my legs are the top half of Mike's body, and his legs are the bottom. So it's like 4 legs, and then just me and Myq as a weird unit sort of put together.
4 legs good, 2 legs bad, you know. So
and then you're like, this is not what I meant by being inside of you. Fuck, I didn't want this to happen at all.
I mean, I just feel like it could go. It could be really entertaining, or it could go horribly wrong.
Taylor, I have a question. How do you feel about the fact that from moment to moment on a subatomic level, we are constantly being broken down and re-arising in a different... We're essentially teleporting all of the time. So does that make you feel better or worse?
Where do you think my anxiety comes from?
The good news
Anxiety comes from the daily being broken down and built back up as you walk across the living room. That's where your anxiety comes from?
Basically, I'm pretty sure that's it.
The good news is you might any moment moving forward get recombobulated without the anxiety. You could just try to teleport away from the anxiety, and then you'll be all set.
Now, see, that's like the positive thing that could come out of it is like, okay, we're reconstructing you without all this shit, but then there's morals, and I'd just rather not deal with it. Just get in the car.
Like, here's my question: do you think you could have them teleport you and then reconfigure you better? Like, could I take the 30 pounds that's up here and have it throw up here? Because I think I'd be attractive if I would. You know, I don't have a weight problem.
Yeah, you could, but then are you you? Is your consciousness still there? No one knows. Just drive. There's planes.
Just go.
Well, I got 2 answers. Number 1, I love the idea of stomach, shoulders, bowers. Ow, this is a real. You got a lot right up there. What is that? A beer shoulder?
Yep.
And the answer to it, are you still the same person? I mean, the same question. Like, is your consciousness the same as it was an hour ago when you hadn't done this show, as a day ago when you hadn't lived this day, when you were a baby? Is your consciousness the same as when you were a baby? Good night, everybody.
You know, I think you're going to hurt Taylor's feelings too much. I think you're
There'll be different feelings in a minute anyway.
Wow.
That's a
100
good
years,
point.
all
That's
new
a very
people.
good
It's
point.
a Pete Holmes thing. 100 years, all new people. I love it.
All right.
Anybody else have thoughts on teleportation? No, I think so. Let's get to some shitty doodles. I think it's time for some shitty doodles.
Well, we've got some generals coming in. I just want to catch us up before we get to the shitty doodles. Thank you for everybody that sent them in. And if you're in the VFR and you have shitty doodles you want to show on camera, please raise your virtual hand, and we'll get to you. And then so we had Steph Andrews said that her worst date was when she found out that they were first cousins.
That's never good. Was it before or after you fucked, Steph?
We didn't sleep together, but it was after we made out.
It's allowed. It's been happening for centuries. In America, it's legal in most states.
Were you kissing him and he was like, "You remind me of my Aunt Linda," and you're like, "I have an Aunt Linda." Oh fuck! Is that what happened?
Aunt Linda, but she's dead now, Chris. So thanks.
You know,
remind me of...
That's why I picked that one. I was hoping to specifically hurt your feelings.
I actually do.
He showed me photos of his family, and then I'm like, oh shit. And it's because I don't speak to my father's side of the family because we're estranged. And I'm like, oh shit, that's my uncle. And he's like, what do you mean that's your uncle? And then I'm like, is your father's name Greg? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, is your last name Andrews? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I think we need to have a conversation.
I think you need to move your hand there, Greg. Can you move your hand? It's making me uncomfortable now.
He immediately moved his hand from an area that had to be moved from.
Oh no!
Awkward.
Awkward for everybody.
For me, that's the greatest story I ever heard. That is fucking hilarious. I love it.
That's also a secondhand embarrassment story that Steph just told. It's that and the dating your cousin.
Oh, I thought you meant specifically his hand.
And then Abby tipped Myq in appreciation of the Animal Farm reference.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you.
So she like that. All right, so shitty doodles. Anna D, you're up first.
All right.
Okay, I've got 3. I'll just put 2 in for consideration. So first up is catch up the rising star. Keep asking it to slow down. And the next is the if we get this figured out, it will work well flowchart.
Cute.
And this one was just for fun. It was the Bowers, I won't do that salad or that meatloaf.
Awesome. Steph, you've got a doodle.
Yes. Just remember, I can't draw for shit, so it really is a shitty doodle.
That's so cute.
My attempted to draw boobs.
Shout out to the pentagram.
Nice ones.
Right? Yep.
That just comes on all her notebooks.
Oh, it's probably Supernatural Notebook.
It is.
Is there anyone else in the front row that wants to do one live on camera? Wave at me. I don't think so, y'all. We're in for a ride here. Wait till you see some of these. Taylor,
okay.
Let's do it.
So one of the things I have to figure out, I didn't put anyone's name on this, so I will try to.
Okay, I can
remember.
tell you. I can tell us.
Perfect. First one I know is Gus.
Yep, that one's Gus.
Who put chicken? You go ahead.
Go. No, please, you do it.
Okay. Who put chicken on my butternut squash pizza? That was Gus.
That was Gus. All right. I like that one.
This one is Giggle Pigs. Pickle Blaster. I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me.
Oh my I'd fuck me. You have to do the voice. You have to do the voice.
You do it,
I'd
Taylor.
fuck me.
Nope. Not doing that.
I'd fuck me. Would you fuck me?
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go, Bowers. Myq Kaplan's girlfriend clothing super mega fantastic dance party. I did. That was great.
This one I think is Bill.
Bill. Okay.
What is this? Okay.
Brad and Space.
Sarah's.
I think it's the whole VFR.
It's the VFR.
All right.
No pineapple, Steph. Oh my God, they said my name. Cass fainting.
What front row? Because I forgot to do
What
it.
front row, Bowers?
There's a Jody Crayon over there. I like that.
Abby, fuck work, Brandy. It is.
Wendy in her car.
Yes.
Oh, I think we have some close-ups. Here we go.
There we go.
Frank,
Bowers,
Rebecca,
what
Anna.
front row?
Bowers' grandkids.
Jody on a crayon.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? I'm on a crayon. What does it say though?
I don't know. There's a hand there.
I can't.
No one knows. I love the cast fainting.
Still in the same position. She's fallen over, but she's still exactly the same.
Yeah. This is Wendy.
Pineapple and a snifter.
That's what it is. Okay. I was half paying attention.
Very fancy
Pineapple and a snifter gag. I love it.
And a question mark. And that
Is that just the show today?
Yeah,
Wendy?
that's apt. Very apt. Good job, Wendy. Some Hayden Lemaster.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. Oh my god.
That one's so great.
That is so good.
Teleportation. the Willy Wonka people. That's so funny.
This one I love.
Who's that from?
These are all
That's from Hayden.
Yeah, Hayden making some Photoshopness. What else was? That was it.
Oh my
right.
god.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Oh, I liked a lot of those.
I think that's such a great
Oh wait, there was
addition
one
to the
from
show.
Megan.
Megan? Oh, I didn't see it.
It's let me see if I can save it. It's that second one down. It's you again.
Oh, maybe that's why.
I can pull it up on my phone and show.
Second one down. Oh yeah, why did I fuck that one up? This one's actually funny.
It's okay.
It was great. Oh, because it's a PDF. That's why. All right, hold on. Hold on. Are you holding? I don't see any hands.
I'm holding.
Oh, well, what do you want to hold on
Being
to?
pretty darn fat because people call me PDF all the time and I don't like it.
Just me.
All right, this one's Megan's.
Nice.
I would like to say this is time travel is different than teleportation. Thank you.
Wait, are you afraid of time travel, Taylor?
No.
Because they have to reconstruct you and send you back in a time travel too, right?
No, they don't. They just use wormholes and space-time. That's actual travel, not teleportation. Nerds!
Fair. I think I'm more
All
afraid
right.
of wormholes. That sounds gross, but okay.
Hours, what was your favorite doodle?
Well, I liked a bunch of them. I really liked Anna D's flow chart, but I got to give it to Hayden with the lube butter jelly KY whatever that was. That was my favorite. Jen, what was your favorite doodle?
I gotta go with KY Gold. That was hilarious. So funny.
Nice. Mike.
I loved so many. The flowchart was a strong contender in the beginning. The pineapple in the snifter is wonderful. The lube is great. Lube is great, everyone. But because of its origin and all associated with it, I'm gonna go with teleportation.
All right. Nice. Hayden. Jody, what's your?
The KY Gold was pretty good, but that's my winner. But a close second was the flow chart, despite it being very well organized for what the flow of the show was.
Great.
I loved Giggle Pigs Tickle Blaster, the I'd Fuck Me. That just, it was great. All of Hayden's. But I'm going to give it to the flow chart. But that means that Hayden's KY Butter wins. So, Hayden, congratulations. Woo. Collect your prize. You get to choose a topic for next Wednesday automatically to get voted on.
Yep. So now who was the person who had the worst first date?
So basically, Dizzy by Nature gets to choose a topic for next week, and Hayden gets to choose a topic for next week.
And Steph had a comment with the first date. She told us a first date story. So just
Sure.
there was only one, so she gets to be the third person. Oh, there you go. So
right.
in the future, when you comment, you gotta be thrown in the mix. So our winners are Steph, Dizzy by Nature, and Hayden. Which, if they're in the front row, we'll talk to them on Wednesday when they're here. But they can also just pick a topic from the world if they're not in here. So that's great. So I guess we'll get here. Mike, where do we find you in the world? How do we follow you around, buddy?
Thanks for asking. First, you just go through a wormhole. You can travel through space. You can travel through time. Whatever you want. I don't see why teleportation can work that way. Myq Kaplan, spelled the way I spell it. MyQ Kaplan is my website. It's all my social media. It's my new newsletter that I send jokes out every week for free, or you can subscribe on MyqKaplan.substack.com. I've got 2 podcasts. One's called The Faucet. It's just me. One's called Broccoli and Ice Cream. I have conversations with friends. Jody's been on. And, I'm a stand-up comedian. So mainly come see me perform places live or here, or get my albums. The most recent one called AKA came out last year. I still like it. So enjoy my stand-up wherever you can find it. Search Myq Kaplan. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Jen.
Oh, you can find me at Jen Murphy Comedy. JenMurphy, only one N. And I also just want to say before I go, I would really love to give Taylor a hug if I were in person with him. I think he needs a hug.
If only you could somehow transport yourself to
if you
where
could
he
teleport
is.
there instantly, you could hug him, but he's
All
against
right.
that.
All right. I have muted Myq Kaplan. I've used my one. You've heard my disdain.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jen. You can find me at Bowers Comedy as always. Tonight we have Mike Baldwin on Origin Stories. Greg Proops had to reschedule for next week. Sorry about that, but Mike Baldwin's on Origin Stories tonight, so check that out. And then Greg Proops is on next week, so come check that out. We're going to give you the same deal if you're a Patreon, free tickets, the whole deal we gave last time, but now it's been moved a week. Sorry about that. Also, tonight I'm at the Federal Bar in North Hollywood. If you want to come check me out there, I'm there probably every Wednesday from now on for a while. And then next Tuesday on November 9th, I am roast battling the one and only Ben Gleib at the Comedy Store. It'll be on Mint TV. You can check that out. And the December 22nd, I'm headlining Helium Comedy Club in Indianapolis, so come check me out there with some special guests that are going to be fun. Jody, what you got coming up?
Well, you can follow me at Jody Sweeten on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and at official Jody Sweeten on Facebook. Also, I am going to be hosting your late night show tonight on November 19th, and it is going to be over Zoom, so you guys can go ahead and get your tickets starting now. I put the link up in my story on Instagram, so you guys can check that out. Ben had hosted one a couple months ago, and so I will be doing it on November 19th. I'm very excited. And also my podcast, Never Thought I'd Say This, which is a really inappropriate look at parenting and mostly just my failures as a parent. So along with my friend Celia Bayard. So anyway, look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Very cool. Right.
Good. Video front row. It was really great to see you guys. Thanks for being here during this really interesting Wednesday hump day change. I loved it. I loved the topics. It was really fun. And do I want to say anything else? Yeah, send us some feedback. Send us some feedback at scscshow@gmail.com. We'll read it. We'll take it into consideration, and we won't do shit with it. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, we are working on this, and we thought this was a fun. But if you have suggestions or things you think will make it better, let us know. We'd all love that. So this was
and
fun.
Fridays will be the same. Fridays will be the fan Fridays and all that. But I think we're gonna try and sign off all at the same time instead of one after another.
Bye, you guys.
So bye, team.
Bye, everybody.
See you next Wednesday.
We'll see you next week. Still don't know what's in the box.